In March of 2019, Hong Kong broke into protest over an extradition treaty with China. These protests continued through the year, becoming more violent as it went on. The protests carried into 2020, but have since slowed down due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Valerio, an international student from Luxembourg who has lived in Hong Kong since the fall of 2019, gave his perspective.
Now Hong Kong is pretty safe. We haven't had cases in the last week. And 2 days ago was Labor Day, so they went out and protested a bit. But I think it's going to come back. Like, people are going to start protesting more now that the virus is contained in Hong Kong. Because in 2003, there was the SRS, the HN1.
In 2003, Hong Kong was hit by the SARS outbreak, a severe acute respiratory syndrome. SARS is actually an earlier strand of COVID. It is COVID-2.
It got pretty bad in Hong Kong, so they already have the mindset of protecting each other from a virus. So everybody would, even if the government wouldn't ask them to do anything, they would instinctively wear masks, wash their hands, and take precaution every day.
Hong Kong has reported 0 COVID-19 cases in the past 2 weeks.
They actually have a lot of measures, big ones, or they close the borders.
Hong Kong will bar all foreign tourists and transit arrivals to the city starting Wednesday.
As soon as you arrive in Hong Kong, you need to do 2 weeks of quarantine. And you have a tracking bracelet, wristband. Every public places has a guy at the door checking your temperature, and you wash your hands with sanitizer.
Although COVID-19 is contained, this opens the door for protests to resume.
The protest, the big story is Hong Kong is it's been 10 years that China has a sort of invisible hand on Hong Kong. And young people are fighting against that because they see no future for Hong Kong after 47, when China is going to have Hong Kong back. And so most adults just want to live peacefully now, so they don't want protests, so they don't understand their kids that are protesting.
Mainland China does not help the confusion.
There's a lot of, information that you don't really know if it's true or not. There was information saying China was sending tanks and a military weapon to Hong Kong, but it wasn't true.
As the coronavirus is contained in Hong Kong, they now face the recurring threat of protest and misinformation from mainland China.